everyone, today I'm going to be doing my 5-star book predictions. This was an idea started by Mercedes at Mercy's Bookish Musings, and I'll link her channel down below. And basically it's look at your shelves and which books in your TBR do you think will be 5-star reads, and you choose them and supposed to read them in like a couple months after or something, and then it's just fun to look back over what you thought of them and what they turned out to be. I think for Mercy it didn't turn out so well. Really hoping my list will be as good as I hope they'll be. So I have 5 books here and I'm really hoping that they will be as good as I hope they will be. The first book I've got is The Stone Sky by N.K. Jemisin, which is probably no surprise to anyone. I've had this book for actually 3 weeks now. It got sent out early, I pre-ordered it and I was really ecstatic. It came while I was on my camp. But I promised to read it with a friend, so I'm joyously waiting the day that she gets her copy and we can start reading together. That friend was the person who got me into this series in the first place, so I don't feel it would be right to read it without her, because it's something we've kind of shared. And yeah, I don't know what to say about this really without spoiling, because I'm so excited for all the things I can't talk about. The second book that I've got on my list of 5-star book predictions is The Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb. 2 of my friends have read this book and both of them have rated it 5 stars. They are both big fantasy nerds, and I really trust their opinions on books. But this book really intimidates me. It's huge, and I have another copy of it here which is even bigger. And I think as much as I know I probably will like this if I actually start it, I'm just 100% intimidated by the sheer size of it. And I think the more people I see who really love it, I think the more I really do want to read it. So I really should read it. And this other copy that I've got, which I won't hold up because it's too heavy, is also a signed copy that I got for Christmas from my uncle. And I feel absolutely awful that I can't fully appreciate how awesome that is as a gift because I haven't actually read the book. And I really need to read the book, so I'm hoping that this list will make me actually read it in the next couple of months, and stop whining about the size of books. I should just yeah. The third book on my list is Pax by Sara Pennypacker. I've had this book since I think it came out, and I still haven't read it. It's like got all of my favourite things in it. It's a really cute children's book, and just look at that cover, look at it, it's so beautiful, and it would stay in. And it's about a little boy who his father goes to war during, I think, World War II? It doesn't say. One of the wars anyway. And he has a pet fox. And the father, before he goes to war, makes his son take this fox back to the wild and release him. But I think the book follows the fox's point of view, actually trying to get back home. So maybe like homeward bound. So I don't know, but it's supposed to be really beautiful. And another one of my friends whose opinions I really trust on books read this 5 stars and really recommended it to me, so I just need to read it. But I feel like I'm saving this for a really low point when I've just read a whole load of really awful books and I just need, right, that one's going to be good. So I'm pretty confident I will really love this, but I just need to read it. Book 4 is a book I've seen everywhere on BookTube for like the last year, maybe longer, I don't know. It's The Trouble with Goats and Sheep by Joanna. I have a really big copy. I have actually seen the paperback version of this and it's not as big as it looks, so I should not be intimidated by the sheer size of my copy. I think this one, when I first heard about it, I don't actually know. My copy doesn't have a blurb, so I don't know what it's about. But what I've heard, I think it's about 2 little girls who trying to solve a murder or something, and it's in the 1980s, and it's very kind of rural community and quite funny and quite just very cozy sort of read. And I picked this up in a charity shop because I'd heard about it, but it also reminded me of 2 of my favourite books, which are The Earth Hums in B Flat by Strachan and The Sweetness at the Bottom of the Pie by Alan Bradley. And these two books are also about little girls who are in a kind of rural community sometime in the past, and they're trying to solve murders or solve issues in their community, and it's quite quirky and funny and interesting. So I really love those books, so I really think I will love this book. It's just, yeah, I think I have also been intimidated by the size of this one, but it's not actually that big in paperback, so I don't need to be intimidated in the way I'm intimidated by Robin Hobb's books. The fifth book on my list is The Snow Geese by William Fiennes. This, I think, is a kind of follow-up to his memoir, The Music Room, which is one of my all-time favourite books, I think. I really love this. His writing style is so sensory and detailed, and just like, it really draws you in, and you just become part of his world. And like, he grew up in a completely different kind of childhood that I did. But I still felt so kind of connected to it, and all his memories and all these little places, and I think his nature writing just sounds like, I love nature writing, but this sounds so beautiful. I'll read you the opening thingamawatsie. I imagined a quest, a flight, a journey with snow geese to the Arctic. It was a fantasy of escape, the pang of nostalgia. The intense longing to go home that I had experienced in hospital had now been supplanted by an equally intense longing for adventure, for strange horizons. I was as desperate to get away from home as I had been to return to it. I kept thinking of snow geese, their 3,000-mile flight from winter quarters to the Arctic breeding grounds. I had been immersed in everything that was most familiar to me, that reeked most strongly of my past, and I was hungry for the new, for the uncharted country. I wanted to declare my freedom to move, and I love him. Why haven't I read this book yet? I have no idea why I have not read this book. I've had this book for so long, and I really need to read more non-fiction this year, so this, I'm hoping, will get me reading it. But I'm kind of sad because I think it's the last book of his, and there's something final about reading the last book of someone's last book, and I don't like waiting for books. So, William, please write more. Yes. So, that was my 5-star book predictions. I'm really hoping all these books will be at least 4 stars. So let me know if you have read any of these books and what you think, and which should I read first? Which should I read first? That's a good starting point, maybe. I'm hoping to read at least one of them this month before I go back to work. But yeah, let me know if you've read any of them, if you loved any of them, hated any of them, if you were also intimidated by humongous books. I'm hoping maybe to film a video tomorrow about poetry, because I haven't really talked about poetry at all yet, and I really love poetry, and I could probably ramble about it for quite a while. So that's all from me, guys. Hope you're having a good summer. Bye! Period of the night after. That was a really bad summary. Is Snow Geese by I will start that again.